Earlier, I was talking about the brainwave states and how each of these brainwave states relates to our hormones and our connection to our immune system. The delta wave state being our melatonin secretion at night. We go through all these different layers of consciousness, and these are, if you had a little cap on your head to track all this, your body would be giving off like a certain frequency. Like, what is your cadence? Is this person a speed racer? Are they moving chaotic? Or do I feel like this person is calm? You're picking up this person's frequency. And I always tell people, like, people are like at the restaurant, they tease me. They're like, how do you eat so much? So I'm just eating my ground beef and my rice and my eggs. And I'm like, I need this energy to feel calm. I need this energy to feel happy and content. And so I'm not like this, right? Stuck in high beta wave frequency. I'm stuck with overstimulation of cortisol. Been there, done that. I'm trying to be calm and at peace right now. So, as I was thinking about that, so we get this control center, all these brainwave states coming from the control center, our central intelligence agency, which is our brain, our supercomputers of our brain, made of 60 to 80% fat. And this is what I thought about a few moments ago. Dr. Mary Newport's work. Dr. Mary Newport's work. If you don't know her, look her up. If you know someone in your family struggling from Alzheimer's, dementia, she is wonderful. Her book is called Alzheimer's Disease. What if there was a cure? And she talks about the fourth macromolecule. So this is our energy efficiency of the cell. This is how we use this is where we use most of our energy and where we burn a lot of our fats is in the mitochondria. But it's just important. Her work is important because she talks about fats. The brain's made of 60 to 80% fat. Every single cell membrane, okay, so we're trying to get this brain is trying to send these signals out, which are hormones, and we're trying to communicate with the cell. But then we have all of these toxic fats in our diet where the individual cell feels chaotic. It doesn't feel safe because it doesn't even have a safe home to be in. I always say this. When we don't have enough healthy fats in our diet, and Dr. Mary Newport's work is great, look her up more about this. When we don't have healthy fats, the cell membrane is compromised. And it's like going camping. You bring your little tent out into the forest and a storm comes. And it's like having a hole in your tent. You're just going to get all that water in there. It's chaos. And like the cell is done being in chaos mode. You know what I'm saying? Like your immune system is tired of being in chaos mode. That's why it keeps giving you these signals. That's why it keeps your skin dry and your body is in pain, because our babies are always trying to communicate with us. Our immune system's trying to communicate with us. So when we get into more of the delta wave sleep state at night, when our respiratory rate drops real low, when we have a good melatonin secretion, our immune system is able to restore and recharge. And I like Dr. Joe Dispenza's work in the book Breath by James Nestor, because Dr. Joe Dispenza tracks like microbiome changes. He tracks blood marker changes within the immune function when he teaches people meditation and dropping into these slower breathing wave states so that we can communicate with our whole bodies, our whole brain. It's so beautiful. This is the coolest thing about you. This is the coolest thing about you. That's the video that I made this morning, more on the brainwave states. But like, you are so beautiful. And so this is what else I know about what I've learned about the brainwave states. And I'm not perfect. I just get excited about things. And like literally learning about this was one of the most exciting things I ever learned in my entire life. I think about this all the time, and I'm constantly trying to slow my breath down so that I can be in a more calm place. A lot of people think, or they tell me, you're so calm. It's like I really practice that. I think deeply about this. And like even with our food, like again, I eat a lot of raw eggs. I eat a lot of ground beef. I'm eating like very minerally dense foods because I'm trying to have more of the delta wave sleep tone at night. I'm trying to have my melatonin secretion upped at night. Where does melatonin come from? We trace it back. It comes from serotonin, which comes from tryptophan. In the amino acids, where do we get tryptophan from in the highest amounts? I was on an SSRI medication years ago, serotonin reuptake inhibitor. I was like, asking a psychiatrist, after Googling about amino acids and something and feeling like something was missing, said, doesn't tryptophan come from like protein, like our food? And she's like, yeah, but some people have chemical imbalances. And we do have these chemical imbalances. Like a lot of us are, we're like chronically chemically imbalanced, and it's so sad. We have like this, chronic mitochondria dysfunction. We have energy dysfunction within, a large amount of us. They just came out, CDC came out the other week, 1 in 3 teenagers are pre-diabetic, and I think that's a generous number. I would say 1 in 2. Why? Because like our stress response is running rampant. We're stuck in the high beta wave frequency. What this does, when we have high secretion of cortisol, whenever we secrete cortisol, we secrete blood sugar. Because in the forest, if I was out hunting and I saw a predator and I became stressed, my muscles would need the blood sugar to fight or flight. But the problem is that we never come out of this high beta wave frequency state. We don't, at night, we're not dropping into this restful, restorative state. Our on signals are staying on. And if you, ask yourself some questions like cancer growths, what gives a tumor a signal to grow? Melatonin is one of the largest tumor suppressors, and we're not getting enough melatonin secretion or enough melatonin release. And all this is related to the microbiome. All of this is related to light. So like when we go out in the sunlight, we're communicating with these frequencies. I go out in the blue light in the morning when the sun is up, and I'm stimulating my cortisol. I'm stimulating this high beta wave frequency. And at night, or let's say like again the blue light at night, why it's so important to get that out of your diet late at night is because you're stimulating this beta wave frequency and you're crushing your delta wave. You're crushing your melatonin secretion. And we don't want to have that happen. That's why you'll see me put on like my little blue light blockers, or that's why you see I have these like red tints, because I'm trying to protect my melatonin. You gotta protect your melatonin. Nobody else is gonna protect your melatonin like you. There's nobody on this planet that can protect your melatonin. And a lot of this too is just really like remembering who you are, like remembering that you have these trillions of cells. Like you're not broken. You're not broken because maybe your hormones are a little bit off, or you're not feeling your best, your brightest, your lightest. Like your body, the body is always healing. It's always aiming to go to a more healed and balanced place. That's just how the body's designed. I'm not lying to you. This is what happens. You cut your finger and the body will send, like the immune system, right? Blood, platelets to come heal this area. You might break your arm, but that baby is healing from the moment it breaks. It is healing. So right now in this moment, you are healing. And like I talked about this morning, you can practice. If you're new to meditation or anything like that, get the book Breath by James Nestor. That's one of the best books I ever read. If I could buy 1 billion copies and give it out to everyone for free, I probably just would do that if I could get paid to do that. But learning how meditation can influence the hormones, the gut microbiome, can influence it. It changes everything. It changes the way that you see the world. Once you stop being, living in such a stressful place, it's like I have enough strength to breathe and to slow down. And even if you only care about aesthetics, like this is like my muscle mass is not declining at a fast rate. I can keep this muscle mass on and just feel at peace. Like somewhere in the middle. So anyway, it is getting so dark outside. My camera right now is saying more light required, and I love when it says more light required. We could always use more light. There's never enough. And that's the coolest thing about mitochondria. Another cool thing about you is that mitochondria can make more of themselves, and they hold their own DNA, and they give energy out to different parts of the cell. Like they literally, it's like having like a dog or a pet that just runs around inside your home, like, and runs up to you and starts cuddling, sits on your lap. That's what mitochondria do in the cell. They'll go around the cell and they'll be like, bro, you need this. They call it ATP in the cell. You need this energy, you need this ATP. I got you. And that's what they do. That's what they go. If you have enough amino and fatty acids, and communicate with the light. Sunlight is key nutrient. Vitamin D production, key nutrient. train the cholesterol, train the triglycerides. I picked 4. I'm gonna pick one more. I'm gonna pick 5. And then we'll end. Oh my gosh, I love this card. So this is 5 random cards. This is from a deck I made myself. These are kind of like little love letters, little notes that I've written to myself like over the last few months or so. But the first card here, run your legs, not your mouth. Oh, I love that. Like, keep moving. Just keep moving. Go for walks. Like, get this energy out. Get this energy, this excessive energy, get it out, you know? Start early in the morning. Try to wake up earlier. Just walk 10 minutes, you know? Run your legs, not your mouth. Music can also help us relieve us of stress, and those same thing with the brainwaves. Like, every time we have anything in our environment, we're training the brainwaves. So be conscious of the music that you're listening to, so that, you know, you can be in a better state of harmony. If you feel like you're in a negative place, you know, don't keep listening to the same stuff. You can put on some Alan Watts. Like I said, Alan Watts saved my life a few years ago. This card says reconcile. Reconcile, forgive yourself, you know. Forgive yourself. Tomorrow is a new day, you know. I forgive myself for not doing what I told myself I would do today. I told myself I would do all these things today. The other day, I was like, I'm going to get so much cleaning done. I'm not even going to recognize my house when I'm done. Did I get anything done? No. But sometimes that's like, sometimes you just got to do it. Sometimes you just got to say, okay, I didn't do this today, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. I struggled with this habit tremendously when I said I was going to start making my bed. I would just like skip making my bed, you know? But it's okay. It's like the same thing with the gym routine. I would drive to the gym, sit in my car for 30 minutes on my phone, and then I would drive home. Just keep going. Just keep doing it. Like, reconcile. It's fine. No one cares, you know? There's a celebration in the spirit realm. I do believe that we are body and spirit, and like, there's a lot of people that want to see you succeed. Why not? Last card, expand and contract, you know. So as I'm making this video, you can see that it's getting darker, you know, and right now we're going to a contraction mode. Nighttime is a contraction mode. We're becoming more insulin resistant, right? Because our cortisol is getting lower, melatonin's coming up, and we're preparing for that delta wave sleep state. We're preparing to contract, to go to sleep. Good night. You know, and in the morning, we expand. We get up in the morning, we go in the sunlight, dilate our blood, you know, move it around, do it all again. So anyway, I wish you the best of luck if you have watched this video so far. Thanks for hanging out with me. I always have a great time here, I gotta say. But you can share this video if you know someone who may benefit from it, or you can like, share, and subscribe. But as always, I wish you the best of luck.